What is poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at Chapter 2, Season 6? Primal? This is Primal, yeah? We'll go in Primal with this one. If you haven't been following over the past couple of days on the channel, I have been taking a look at every single Fortnite season from Chapter 2, because this November we have gone back to Chapter 2 in our sort of what seems to be our yearly OG season. I don't know if next November we'll be going back to Chapter 3, but if we do, I'll be taking a look at every season from Chapter 3 in that November. But as of right now, this is one of the longest chapters with 8 seasons, and we are on the 6th one. We will be doing 7 and tomorrow and then 8 the day after, but as of right now we are taking a look at number 6, which starts off super strong as a season as we see the aftermath of last season, breaking out on all-out war on the island with Jonesy going in to stop the 0 point, because Io don't give a shit, so he's going in, he jumps out the battle bus, and he is on 99 loss of health. So he's on 1 health because he jumped from the battle bus and took 99 damage. Now, remember this, because as he runs through the battlefield with Ryu Hadoukening, Predator and Meowskulls having a fist fight, Peely exploding, we have loads of other people sort of dying from all these different sort of ways, and he gets to this 0 point and he throws it in, and he gets punched repeatedly by the Foundation, which apparently does no damage to him. And he teams up with the Foundation, promising him Geno, and they seal the 0 point behind the Spire, trapping Jonesy, Agent Jones, in the loop for the rest of this season. And the Spire turns the 0 point primal, and we have animals on the island. We have wolves, pigs, chickens, and raptors, which chickens have stayed across the island for many, many years. They have been on the island for years to come, and can still be found on the island today from a vending machine. And I'm going to be honest, I quite liked the animals. I thought the animals were cool. Riding around on a ball was fucking sick. Not gonna lie, I thought riding around on a pig and screaming, "Hog Rider!" at the top of my lungs was fucking incredible. Being a hog rider in Fortnite was something I didn't know that I wanted to be, but it is something that I needed in my life. There was also raptors and wolves, and those two attacked you, and they would be very annoying because they would be very strong. The island did get a downgrade because it did look quite ugly, with a sort of decaying sort of woodland area which sort of spanned the map, and it wasn't that nice to look at. I'm going to be honest, it was pretty awful to look at, and the Spire was pretty boring, and the story did take a pretty big halt with it going into Raz. He was like the main focus of the story for this season, a character which I wasn't too fond of. And this battle pass did come with Raven and also Lara Croft, which did fit very well with the new bows which were on the island, which I did quite like, having the unique bow abilities. And I've always been shit with snipers. Snipers are Grandad and Bird's and Fred's thing. They were never my thing. I was never good with snipers unless it was a hunting rifle. So I never used snipers. So this was my season to be the long range, to be fucking Robin Hood, to be the, I don't know who else uses the bow in pop culture, to be the Legolas of the group. I was fucking sick with the bows. The bows were great. I loved the bows, and I would love the bows to return because I thought they were really cool. We also had crafting in the game, which seems like a pretty mediocre, less sophisticated, pretty shitty version of the new sort of upgrade benches, or the sort of mods that you can have on your gun, which were in Chapter 5. Gonna be honest, crafting was pretty fun. The primal weapons were diabolically shit. I never used the primal weapons. I did think they were pretty ass, not gonna lie. I never used them. The 7, little spires around the map were pretty helpful for getting out of storm because they launched you. So it was very helpful for maneuvering. And I do believe we also had glider redeploy at some point in this season as well. and we had a couple of new weapons as well, with makeshift weapons also being dog shit. Majority of the weapons this season were dog shit. We had a whole new loot pool for this season with primal weapons, makeshift weapons, and basic weapons. And I'm gonna be honest, the primal weapons were still shit, but they were the better ones of the bunch. That primal SMG was fucking solid and was my favorite gun for the entirety of this season, and one which I did use. There was a huge spray meta this season, which, you know what, being a person who can't aim, who isn't competent at aiming, was very useful for me. Having the spray meta, spray and pray, that was a good time for me, not gonna lie. We had also useless mythic items from the Spire, which were boots, which I used for the challenges and then never again, and I would never pick them up. However, the Spire Assassin did drop different weapons every time. It was never guaranteed that you'd get the same mythic twice. I think there was like a loot pool rotation on the Spire Assassin, which gave a couple of different weapons. None of which we was interested in, except it was a challenge, so we had to use them. Tirana was my favorite fucking skin of the Battle Pass, not gonna lie, she was the best in the Battle Pass, not including collabs, because Raven is my favorite Teen Titan other than Beast Boy, and Lara Croft is fucking great, stereotypical British person, raiding tombs. I have recently played Tomb Raider on the channel, so definitely go check that out if you want to, because it is a fucking banger of a game. So 2 really solid collabs throughout this game, and this is the season where they started to focus a lot more on collabs, because we had Neymar, for whatever reason, coming as a secret skin in the Battle Pass, and yeah, we had Jonesy stuck in the loop for this season, so, you know, not much happened story-wise with him because he was gone. He was no longer sort of traveling dimensions. He was just up and out of here. We had pretty shit super styles again. They have been continued all the way from Chapter 2, and after, you know, this season, I stopped giving a shit about them because it was just boring recolors, and we sort of learnt that, and I stopped caring about getting them all in Chapter 2. I don't remember when in Chapter 2, I think it was around Season 6, 7 time, is where I started to be like, you know what, I don't need all these different coloured variations, it just turns them gold, and I will never use the gold version of them, because it looks shit. We had Recycler come as well. The Battle Pass, other than the collabs and Tirana, was pretty dire. We had Agent Jones, which I thought was a cool skin. It was cool that he could unlock different styles and his different sort of attires as he had his journey through dimensions throughout the Battle Pass. But, you know, the Spire Assassin, the Chicken, and whatever else was in the Battle Pass, it's very forgetful. It's not a very memorable Battle Pass. If I saw the skins, I would remember them. But it was a dire Battle Pass, and they were all shit, so there isn't point mentioning them anyway. It was a Battle Pass which I genuinely didn't enjoy. There was very few skins which I did like from this one, and yeah, it was very dire. We had 3D, you know, lobby still here, which was cool. Everyone likes the 3D lobbies, and that was still here for this season. And we had a pretty decent UI, and I do believe this was the season where they were introduced locker presets, so you could have 50 locker presets which you could switch between and have on random, so it would change everything about your character in between games. And we had a live event at the start of the season, and it was like the fucking greatest start to a season ever. I loved playing that sort of solo story mode type sort of game through the start of the season. It really felt like it was a breath of fresh air, and it felt really interesting, and they tried to do something similar with the live event for going into Chapter 4, which didn't work as well. The Fracture event was fucking shite. I hated it. I didn't even know what I was fucking doing in it. It wasn't the best, I'm gonna be honest. What else did we have going on here? Yeah, not a lot. Gonna be honest, that's about all the memories I have from this season. We played it because it was what we did, and it was the only game we all played together. I don't believe many of us actually enjoyed it. It did get a bit of getting used to. This is like the season everybody hates and most people quit during. Gonna be honest, we played it. We had an alright time. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't amazing, but it wasn't terrible. You know, I had quite fun with the animals, and I actually thought it was decent with, you know, all the new stuff being added and the stories. But yeah, I thought it was good to start with, but it started going downhill and we didn't get more stuff added, it just kind of felt like a slog, and the season kind of dragged, not gonna lie. Towards the end of the season, it kind of just got boring and got sloppy and just wasn't as exciting as it was when it first came out, but that is just the sort of loop of emotions you go through when playing Fortnite. And other than that, this season, I'm going to give it a solid 4 out of 10. It isn't the worst, but it isn't the best. Sort of mid-ground, because I did enjoy some parts of it, but there was still more bad parts than good. So other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. I'll see you all next one. I hope you all have an excellent day, and goodbye. Stay home and stay safe. Don't forget, we are coming back with more reviews for Fortnite Chapter 2 over the next couple of days, so do stay tuned for that. But yeah, I'll love you and leave you to the peaceful music of Chapter 2, Season 6.